Welcome back to another episode of Rock Boys Football. Josh Heupel, Tennessee, rolling on the recruiting trail. Not only David Sanders Jr. committing to Tennessee Saturday, less than 24 hours later, flipping four-star linebacker Jaden Harmon from Alabama to Tennessee. And this kind of goes along with the discussions that we've had with this Tennessee program on the recruiting trail over the last couple of weeks. And that is, hey, we know that Tennessee on the offensive side of the football is going to put up a lot of points, right? You look at the quarterback room that they're going to have over the next couple of years, the wide receiver talent that they routinely bring in from the high school ranks, Josh Heupel running it. This offense is going to be prolific. It's going to be one of the best offenses, not only in the SEC, but in the country. You go back to a conversation we had, over 12 months ago in terms of how Tennessee continues to close the gap between teams like Alabama and Georgia. I think we all kind of agreed it's line of scrimmage and it's on the defensive side of the football. Can you stack that kind of talent in the high school ranks? And you kind of fast forward to today. That's exactly what we're seeing this Tennessee program do. And not only the commitment of David Sanders Jr. on Saturday, but less than 24 hours later, landing one of the more prized commits in Alabama's 2025 class in Jaden Harmon. You can kind of see this Tennessee team starting to get it done where they need to on the recruiting trail. That's what gives me so much confidence that this Tennessee team is going in the right direction, and it's going in the right direction fast. They are quickly identifying where those areas on their roster they needed to improve to compete with the programs like Georgia and Alabama. That's exactly what they've done. Now, you look at Jaden Harmon. I think the first thing that stands out to me about Jaden Harmon, I think he's kind of one of those linebackers that we talked about, like Jaden Perlotti, just that speed and space linebacker that's extremely versatile, can operate sideline to sideline. And at the end of the day, these kind of linebackers are vitally important, not only in the SEC, but in the college football landscape in general. And all these college football offenses trying to spread opposing defenses out, get as much space and speed on the field as possible. You need linebackers that can operate with that kind of level of athleticism. You look at Jaden Harmon, can do so many different things. One, sideline to sideline speed. This kid covers so much ground so quickly. That's kind of what stands out at first, but you talk about the versatility. Jaden Harmon's a guy that can operate in coverage at an extremely high level, whether it's going on tackling running backs in the flat, whether it's dropping back, carrying tight ends up the seam. From an athletic standpoint, Jaden Harmon, there's not really many things that he cannot do. You need these kind of linebackers in the modern era of college football. That's what Jaden Harmon brings to the table. Want to get into a little bit of the film. The film is an absolute blast to watch. Excited to get into that. Now, before we do it, as always, a quick shout out to the Tennessee fans. This has been a program that it's been a blast to cover on the recruiting trail over the last couple of weeks and months, and the amount of support y'all have shown the boys. It means the absolute world. If you all do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. And without further ado, let's get into Jaden Harmon. And again, 6'1", 215. I think the one thing that might stand out is, all right, 215 pounds, maybe a little light for a linebacker. This kid going into his senior year with a 6'1" frame, I'm not too concerned about Jaden Harmon putting on a little bit of weight, getting up to 225 or 230 pounds. He should routinely be able to do that with the 6'1" frame. But what you can't teach is kind of the athleticism and the speed that he brings to the table. You start diving into the film, and I think the first thing that at least stands out to my mind, one, the motor. The motor is absolutely phenomenal, but more importantly, the versatility. You're going to see him get after the passer right here, where you look at this running back trying to pick up Jaden Harmon and pass pro, not a shot, right? I mean, a little bit of bend here, but look at just a relentless pursuit of the quarterback, going, making a play, finding the football, recovering the football. This kid is a game wrecker at the linebacker spot. Now, the next play, we're going to see him play almost that overhang linebacker, almost that nickel role. Look at his ability to read the quarterback's eyes, understand what's going on in front of him. We're seeing a rollout. We're identifying it. And look at his ability to get out in his zone, cover a lot of space, and then go make a play of football. There's just not many linebackers that can do that in the SEC. And when you have one of those linebackers, it makes playing defense so much easier. His ability in coverage, once again, playing that overhang role, this is just, hey, let's just close the distance between ourselves and the pass catcher. I mean, shot out of a cannon, plays with that ideal physicality that you want. Not much Jaden Harmon can't do. There are so many different ways you can incorporate him in the front seven of this defense, whether it's playing off-ball backer, whether it's playing that overhang linebacker spot, whether it's coming off the edge. When you have a versatile chess piece like this, it gets really easy to scheme up a defense. You continue to roll through the film. Coming off the edge, shot out of a cannon. That first step is lethal. You talk about how, and then this is a play where it kind of shows how he plays with his hair on fire. Little scream. We're going to get to the backside, go make a play. I mean, this kid just doesn't stop. These are the kind of linebackers you want to fill your defense with. Backside play, extremely, extremely good closing speed. His ability to close the distance. And you see him as an edge rusher. I mean, he is a legitimate edge rusher threat. And so there's so many different things you can do with Jaden Harmon. You take a look at Tennessee in the class of 2025, top 6 class in the country. Now they're sitting number 4 in the SEC. What I would like to highlight here is that when you have a top 8 class, a top 6 class, and you use the transfer portal like Tennessee, you're getting yourself in the conversation. Like, this is a team that if you continue to stack these kind of classes, especially with the quarterback play that they are bringing in, you're going to be competing for national championships every single year. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're 3, 4, 5, but as long as you're kind of in that top 6, top 7, top 8 range, you have that prerequisite talent. That's what matters the most. So I wouldn't be too concerned about being 6 or 5, but I think you got to have the talent that lets yourself get in the door of that national championship conversation. That's exactly what Tennessee's doing. I think the second takeaway is they're filling this roster up with blue chips. They got 12 commitments who are top 250 nationally. And that is what, almost 5% of the top 250 kids. Check my math on that. And almost 5% of them are going to be playing their football for this Tennessee program. I mean, they are collecting a lot of talent, and I think more importantly, all over the football field, right? Obviously, quarterback with George McIntyre, but line of scrimmage with guys like David Sanders Jr. and Douglas Utu on the defensive side of the football as well. That's what's standing out to me about Tennessee. I think there's going to be a lot of attention that goes to what they're doing recruiting quarterbacks. My attention is going to what they're doing recruiting the line of scrimmage and in the front 7 on the defense. That's my biggest takeaway. Tennessee rolling on the recruiting trail will continue to cover what they're doing over the next couple of weeks, running into the 2024 season. Appreciate y'all rocking with it. Again, if y'all do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. Appreciate you guys, and we'll talk to y'all